news. Today's news.
President Biden in Israel.
Americans are grieving with you. They really are.
Outrage over Gaza hospital blast.
It's just inflamed this entire region.
House Speaker nominee fights on.
We're going to keep working, and we're going to get to the vote.
Good morning. I'm Steve Kathan with the CBS World News Roundup. President Biden is in Israel. He sat next to Prime Minister Netanyahu and commented on the deadly Gaza hospital blast that has rocked a region already torn by death and destruction.
I'm deeply saddened and outraged by the explosion at the hospital in Gaza yesterday. And based on what I've seen, it appears as though it was done by the other team, not you.
Israel has claimed it was a misfired rocket from Islamic Jihad that hit the hospital. Hamas claims it was an Israeli airstrike. Mr. Biden's remark was based on Pentagon data. Either way, hundreds of people were killed, adding to a horrific toll that began with the sweeping Hamas attack in Israel. Here's CBS's Imtiaz Tayeb.
A massive ball of flames engulfed the Al Ahli hospital, where displaced families and patients had taken shelter. The aftermath of the explosion was a scene of chaos and carnage. Survivors were rushed to the nearby Shifa hospital, which was already at breaking point, as doctors scrambled to treat the wounded and those who lost loved ones tried to make sense of the horror.
They tried to find a safe place, they tried to find a shelter, and they have been attacked.
Hundreds of people are reported to have been killed in the explosion, making it the single biggest loss of life in the Palestinian territory in all the 5 wars between Hamas and Israel over the past 16 years.
I'm Vicky Barker at the Foreign Desk in London. There have been violent protests as people across the Arab world take their horror and anger at the Gaza hospital strike into the streets of their cities. Demonstrators stormed the Israeli consulate in Jordan, and Western embassies have been targeted in Turkey, Tunisia, Iran, and Lebanon. Protests also in the Netherlands, Colombia, Puerto Rico, and a synagogue was firebombed in Berlin.
The hospital blast prompted Arab leaders to call off a planned meeting in Jordan with President Biden, perhaps jeopardizing efforts to get aid into Gaza. CBS's Holly Williams has more on America's role as concerns grow about the possibility of a wider war.
This rare wartime visit by an American president is a show of support for Israel.
It seems to me that they have to continue to ensure that you have what you need to defend yourselves. We're going to make sure that occurs.
The U.S. military is already sending its forces to the region in an effort to prevent the conflict from expanding. Israel's requested $10 billion in emergency military aid from the U.S., which is already surging extra munitions to its allies.
Mr. Biden met in Israel with first responders and families of Hamas attack victims. Meantime, the U.S. has slapped new sanctions targeting 10 Hamas members, operatives, and financial people in Gaza and other parts of the Arab world. And there's where the U.S. intercepted 2 attack drones targeting the airbase in Iraq, where American troops are located. No injuries reported. In Washington, the support just wasn't there for Jim Jordan in yesterday's House Speaker vote. CBS's Nicole Killian on Capitol Hill reports the plan is to try again today.
No speaker.
I think we're a mess.
And no precise prediction for when there will be one.
My guess would be it will take somewhere between the 5 rounds that it took Pope Francis to get elected to the 15 rounds that took Speaker McCarthy.
After going down in the first round, Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan is back at it.
We're going to keep going. We've had great conversations, great discussions with our colleagues.
Lawler. McCarthy.
20 Republicans opposed Jordan and backed other candidates, including former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy.
Do you think Jim Jordan should drop out or withdraw?
I'm not going to tell Jim Jordan what to do. I'm just telling you what I think. I don't think he's going to get there.
Florida Congressman Carlos Jimenez is one of several lawmakers who tell CBS News he was turned off by pressure tactics from Jordan's camp. Others reportedly claimed they were threatened with primary challenges.
It's 4 minutes after the hour.
Well, that's today's news. Today's news. I didn't hear any good news, did you? I didn't think so. I guess it's all about perspective. The glass is half full. Well, as always, I'd like to thank you again for coming along with me on these Dash Cam News adventures. You know the drill. Peace, love, and all that hippie jazz. Bye-bye, everybody. It's 60 degrees outside.